Alright, so for problem number 28, says Ruth is weighing two job offers from the sales departments of two competing companies. One offer has a base salary of $25,000 plus 5% gross of sales. The other offers a base salary of $20,000 plus 7% of the gross of sales. What would Ruth's gross sales need to be to make the second job offer more attractive than the first? Well, what we want to do is find a value where one is better than the other. So what we really need to do, and don't write down what's written down in the book because that's not accurate. I could graph both of these. So what I would do is I would say, okay, the first job, how much do I get paid from the beginning? $25,000 plus my commission. Right? So, well, let me back up. Actually, this would be a little bit better way to do it because we don't know how much we're going to sell in commission, right? And whenever we don't know how much we're going to sell, we need to put an X. So it's 0.05 of something, and we don't know what that something is. So that's the first job. The next job is $20,000 plus 0.07 commission times X. Now, when I go to graph this thing, it's going to be crazy because it's a big number. So I'm going to guess and say that my X value's got to start at like 200,000. And my Y value's got to be between 300,000. Okay? And I'm not quite sure what the corresponding Y values would be, but we know they've got to be at least 20,000, right? Well, no, wait. Yeah, because the lowest would be 20,000 plus something, so I would say 20,000 for Y. And I don't know, how much what is 300,000 times 0.7? About 21,000? So let's put it at 45,000. Now, when I go to hit graph, this is going to take forever to graph. So, oh, I guess not. Who'd have thunk it? All right, so now when I hit trace, what we have here is we have Y sub 1 and Y sub 2. And in fact, what are my Y values? 37,000. I'm going to zoom over a little bit here just to see, because I want to hone in on it so I could see it a little better. Looks like my lowest Y value is about 33, and my highest is probably 35, 36, 37, I don't know, 38. So we'll say 33 to 40. So I'm going to come back in and I'm going to change my window, my Y window, from like 33,000 to, I don't know, 42,000. And the reason I'm changing the graph is I want you guys to clearly see where the intersection occurs. So if I trace this thing, at some point in time, and I'm going to come over here so you can see, right now this is Y sub 1. That's my first equation. And this is Y sub 2, which is the second job offer. And so my Y value is lower than or less than the second one. Now I could see the same thing in the table of values. So if I start at 225,000 and we were to count by 1,000, and I hit second table, if I look down you can see that Y sub 2 is lower, 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 lower. Do you guys see that? So this is like job number 1 and this is job number 2, but they're getting closer. And so what I'm looking for is the numbers in the second column to be greater than the numbers in the first column. And I'm getting close. So at $242,000, job number 1 still makes the same amount of money. Job number 2 still makes the same amount of money. They're pretty close now. Now they're exactly the same. So based on that information that you see, when is the second job more attractive? After $250,000 in sales. Because right after that, you start making more money at the second job. Now, if I were a business owner and I had, well, let's take this from both perspectives. Now we know the answer is at least $250,000. If I was company number one and I offered to pay $25,000 a year, and I knew that my competitor offered only $20,000 but a higher percentage, what might I say to the person that I'm interested in hiring to make them choose me? No, we gotta back it up though with some sort of data. What might I say? Could I say, yes, they pay a higher commission, but the only time you would make more money is if you do $250,000 in sales, and their highest paid salesperson only grosses about $150,000 in sales? I mean, if it's true, like, we don't want to lie, but maybe that's the reality of it. Maybe they're offering a higher percentage because they're trying to take employees away from my company. Huh? What if you were the second company? You might do the same but the opposite, right? You might say, well, once you sell $250,000, which is easy, you'll make more money at my place than you will at the other. Does that make sense?